Project Implementation, Division and Licensing, Delhi Police. Ms. Merin Joseph, IPS, Superintendent of Police, Crime Branch, Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala Police. Mr. Vikas Verma, Vice President, Business Applications, Goods and Service Tax Network, Government of India. Mr. Rajat, Bhasin, Manager, Solution Architect, MongoDB, India. And Mr. Satyanarayan Pagoti, Regional Manager, Public Sector Sales, HPE, India.
Given that we are running way behind our schedule, the way I had planned that I'll initially seek all our eminent members to speak or their views about the topic, how they are using in their department, in their sphere of influence, around their ecosystem, what they believe is changing and how this is impacting their day-to-day lives or work. And then maybe I'll ask some questions. I mean, I'll allow each one of panelists to speak about the topic or their understanding for 5 minutes or so, and then I'll come back and ask a couple of questions. But to me, it doesn't look like that we'll have a time to ask questions. So we will probably start with the views and we'll see how much time we are left with. So over to you, sir, on your views, please.
Everyone. So time is short, so I'll straight away jump to what I wanted to convey today. I've come from Delhi. I'm joint CP there and looking after Safe City project. I'm the nodal officer of Safe City project from last 2.5 years. And I'm also actively contributing towards intelligent traffic management system of Delhi Police. The two flagship projects of Delhi. First one is almost about to be completed in 1 or 2 months. And ITMS project we are finalizing soon in terms of the DFR, detailed project report. And 2 more projects I'll be talking about. One is licensing, where we have done Delhi Police licensing is one of the best in the country because we have got commissioner system and we have got complete 100% ERP based online system. Not a single service is required the citizen to come to office and get the things done. Everything is online, and so much so that we have introduced blockchain technology for issuing certificates. And finally, I'll be talking about predictive policing. So I'll instead go to the problem statements based on my experiences while implementing these projects, and also some experiences comes from my research. I'm doing PhD also in IT Delhi on facial recognition system in surveillance video and drones. So for Safe City project, broadly it has got 3 components. One is 10,000 cameras, 15,000 legacy cameras, and using facial recognition system for generating alerts, all kinds of video analytics for generating alerts. Second is data lake, where we are pulling out 32 databases of Delhi Police and other sister agencies and using data analytics to give services to our field staff. And third is gunshot detection system. The problem we are facing is, number one, in face recognition system, we are finding it difficult to get best accuracy while managing false positive and false negative. And this is not something which is a wish list. This is something which we needed. This is an essential ingredient for running the system. So currently we are testing our product. 3-4 testing we have done, and we are yet to arrive at the level where we can say that we can run the system satisfactorily. So this is one problem statement. Anyone who feels that who can push the state of the art and maybe help us, most welcome. Second problem we are facing is in ITMS, Intelligent Traffic Management System. There's an important ingredient, and that's the brain of any ITMS system, and that is adaptive traffic control system. So there is a debate that whether we should go for some state-of-the-art product like Scoot and SCAT, which has issued the test over time for last several decades. And second is Make in India. Of course, we should promote Make in India, but there are some products, but they have got certain level of maturity. The question is, the scoot and scat kind of system doesn't function very well because in our country, we have got some challenges in traffic. For example, multi-modal traffic is number one, lane discipline is not so much, and parking issues. So the model which have been tested on Western data set doesn't function well because it has to be trained on Indian data set. So that's a challenge. So fourth is predictive policing. Predictive policing experiences come from my own research. When I did MS research in IIT Delhi, I developed a couple of models for using crime data set and also census data set to predict crime so that we can make adaptive deployment. I tried to do the same in Delhi police, and we floated a tender. Some OEMs came forward, but we didn't find solution worth using, sorry to say. Because, you know, we are the law enforcement agencies. We cannot take something just for the showcasing technology. We can't take something just for, you know, for the sake of, proving that we are using predictive policing. It should work on ground. And how should it work? It's not like something like heat map you are showing and, you know, time series. These things will not suffice. So that's why I'm posing this problem as a problem statement. Anyone who feels that he has a solution where our policemen on the ground can use that for taking decision related to next deployment, deployment in next shift, so much so that that can reduce crime. So these are 4 areas I wanted to highlight. The rest of the things I'll cover in the subsequent question. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Hopefully, as we mature in tech, some of these problems will get addressed. So, ma'am, over to you. How do you believe Kerala Police is going about with these kind of emerging tech?
Since I'm also representing the police, I will not repeat what sir has already mentioned in great detail. I'll just briefly touch upon a few things which Kerala is doing as far as AI and policing is concerned. All of you might have at some point heard about the CCTNS project, which was launched in 2009. The purpose of that was to digitalize the crime records and to also move the registration of crime to an online format. However, due to some issues, we could not properly implement that. So Kerala has launched its own version of the CCTNS, which is called the iCops, which is also available in an app format called myCops. So where we have used AI in that is that we have relied on blockchain technology for ensuring that the sanctity of the crime data or the matter that is entered by the investigating officer is protected. So that is, I think, I don't know if we are pioneers in that, but it has been used quite effectively for that purpose. An area where there is great scope for further utilizing AI in iCops is that all this data which is available, registration of FIRs, CD files, everything that is entered on this particular platform, it presents a huge set of data. So if artificial intelligence can be used to analyze that and to throw up some kind of predictive policing or some kind of actionable input, which will help us to streamline policing or to improve our policing response, that is the next step in the process. So that is what we are looking to get out of iCops. Another area where Kerala Police uses AI is in its training institutions. So the Kerala Police Academy relies on virtual and augmented reality simulations to train its officers. So that is a way to expose trainee officers to real-life situations without actually exposing them to the threats and risks involved in such a scenario. So that helps them to preempt responses in the future when they are faced with similar situations. And policing being one profession where one has to be really quick to think on one's feet, we cannot underestimate the importance of these kind of simulations, because otherwise training becomes very theoretical and officers do not get the required exposure to real life situations. So AR, VR augmentations have been our effort in bridging that gap that exists between real-life scenarios, and a classroom training. We have also used artificial intelligence in our AI cameras, which was implemented 2 years back. So that has really helped us in streamlining our traffic management and bringing down the rate of traffic offenses. Compliance of traffic laws has drastically gone up since the implementation of AI cameras. So apart from that, what was mentioned earlier has also been applied in different ways in Kerala. And one challenge which we face when we deal with new technologies is that we are already saddled with a lot of existing infrastructure as far as technology is concerned. So anything that we adopt has to be interoperable. We should not have to struggle too much with legacy issues. And it should be scalable and it should be cost effective because, we cannot necessarily afford the most expensive thing in the market, even though it may be technologically very advanced. So these are some of the challenges we face, and Kerala also has a cyber dome, which was the first of its kind initiative in the country, where a public-private partnership was set up to bring in qualified experts from the private sector to assist the police in managing the new age crimes. So that has since then been replicated in different parts of the country, and they are now further working on our AI and other digital initiatives. So if anyone wishes to connect with us, I welcome them to come and visit the Cyberdome, and we'll be happy to take it forward from there. Thank you.
Ma'am, I'll move on to Mr. Vikas. And what is GST is doing, or GSTN is doing particularly in emerging tech, and how is it infusing smarter governance?
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope I'm audible at the back. So everybody has talked about GST a lot in the last 7-8 years since it has come into country. Before that also there was a big buzz. And so people know about GST, but people don't know about what GSTN is all about. So everybody who's paying taxes, indirect taxes, they know GST every month, they have to do filing, all that. But what is GSTN? So I'll give you a background about GSTN first, little bit. GSTN was a company, it is a government-owned company, fully government-owned company, and it was created for the purpose of bringing the IT system and implementing the GST into the country. So we have been given that responsibility to a tech company who handles the tech part of it, rather than government department getting involved directly with the finalizing requirements. And it was a massive thing because GST, it was a one nation, one tax, right? So get every state, UT onboarded, get them their consensus, and then build a system. So that was one of the biggest challenges that GSTN had, that how do we do that? So before even GST law was passed or that happened, there was government set up few committees, empowered committees, to work on and create a report on specific things that would be required for the taxpayer compliances or the tax officer functionaries. So they have created that 4 set of reports. Basis that GSTN started the work, pre-building the system, designing it. Otherwise, we probably would have not completed by the time in 2017 that all the rules were framed and everything. We got a very less time to do that. But to build a massive system, you need to start very early, in the early days. So we worked on the draft law, and then we build up, because we knew that changes will come, but it will not probably drastically change something where I need to change my architecture. So one thing that challenge was there to how to bring all these. So we went with the platform-based approach, that all other entities, different government departments, they should be able to integrate easily. So we came up with the concept of that API-based model. So it means everything is core, and all other systems that are getting connected is by the API. So data transfer with the different departments. So GSTN is today connected to all the states for the commercial taxes department, plus all the treasuries of the country, RBI, banking, the MCA department, CBDT for all kind of valuation. So you name it, we are almost connected with all the departments that is required, plus the security agency, if they need something, they also reach to us. So in that, we have come a long way. And, still we are not in that phase where we say that, oh, we are maintaining the system. No, we are still in that project mode because the kind of changes that government keep progressing, that comes to us, we have to build, and with the ease. So that is one of the advantages what government has got by creating a GSTN, but Santosh has even mentioned, even though ma'am has just mentioned PPP model. So it has to be public-private partnership model where the government agencies can actually, give that digital task to the specialized people, and it has to be in the collaborative manner. So I also advocate that this has to be done in the countries for basically further progressing with a better speed of digitizing India. So that is what GSTN is all about. Plus, other than that, what taxpayer has got is got a better seamless experience. The collection has increased for the government. So these few things that has come as what we are giving to taxpayers, plus the compliances, plus tax officers who were actually earlier the system was bit of manual also, but now it is completely digitized. So even for tax officer, it is very easy to sit on their desk and do the needful for the compliances. So this is my initial thoughts on the GST, what it is all about. And for that, it is a very scalable system. And, almost 38 lakh transactions has happened so far, payment transaction, and that runs smoothly. And this model, probably this ready-made model has been conceived by CBDT as well. So the income tax department has taken that model from GSTN so that it has become easier for all the banks of the countries to get integrated easily. So this payment system has been really taken up in the government agencies. So yeah, that's what on the technology, AI, all that is already there. We are doing face authentication. We are doing biometric authentication that is recently getting rolled out in all the states slowly. So that's what we are doing on the technology side. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Mission is helping in the emerging tech smarter governance.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm from Mongo. I take care of the pre-sales across India. Two problem statements that I'm trying to solve. First is after lunch, keeping myself awake and the audience awake. And second problem statement, like most of the use cases everyone told, they are building modern applications. New things have to be developed, right? Smart governance is the key topic like we're looking forward, right? If I try to relate what's the principle behind the smart governance and the things which are very closely related with the technology we select, first is efficiency. Everyone in every department, either it's a public or private department, we want to increase the efficiency of our employees or something from the citizens, right? That requires modernizing the platform or using a modern applications. Something which I feel when I interact day in, day out with multiple architects or departments, what I feel is we are still living in a world where a lot of legacy systems are being used. We are talking about GenAI, yes, that's the road we have to choose. First, we have to close the path of coming out of the legacy system, coming to the modernized world. And second is building the modern applications. How MongoDB part plays in these two key areas are, MongoDB is a platform that is built with some of the core foundations that we are helping the customer, because both the use cases which sir and ma'am told about, they are talking about when they are building an application, they are talking to different components, means we are talking where there will be multiple variety of data we have to deal. They are talking about the geospatial data, where we have to manage like a police security and all that's required. And there is a high volume of data we have to do. So volume and variety is some of the key foundation that has to be solved when we are building such applications. So while choosing a technology and making anything efficient, these things are to be considered. And I feel MongoDB, which is built on these core pillars. Second is data-driven decisions. Like ma'am talked about, we have a data, we have to get the intelligence out of it. We are not living in a world, we collect the data and in the night we run the batch job to get the reports and find the intelligence out of it. It's all real time. And in the real time data that we're looking in the scale of terabytes to petabyte. So again, we need a data technology that can scale vertically as well as horizontally to infinite value, and at the same time can provide the efficiency or real-time analytics on top of that, so that we can build a smart governance. Third key point, which I feel, is security. Security is always a key thing, like it's not new. But with the DPDP Act, I think the relevance and the importance has become multifold. So again, choosing a technology. Why I'm always saying a technology? Because most part depends on the data and how and where you are saving the data. So we need a data platform that is built with the core pillars that take care of the security and even all the aspects of DPDP Act. Either we are talking about data in rest, transit, or in memory. So MongoDB is a technology that is leading in a market with certain type of encryption, which I don't feel like any technology has built. I'm talking about nobody will be able to even scrap the data from the memory when you have encrypted the data with this technology. And last pillar, last principle I'll talk about is with respect to interportability. Any department, we are not talking about one application. Even I sit with the Vahan department or even anything, they have hundreds of applications running, hundreds and thousands of microservices running. So we need interportability where I can integrate the data coming from different resources into a single platform so that I can again deal with the same problem of scale in one place and the variety of data I'm dealing with. So once we address all these key principles by choosing the right technology, I think most of our work is done. As a MongoDB, we are already working in a lot of departments. Most of us knows about the Jan Pariche. Jan Pariche is totally built on MongoDB. E-Office, most of the departments are using. That is built on MongoDB. I'm working with the Vahan department. They are trying on few more applications. They are modernizing their old application, again built on the legacy stat on the MongoDB, and they've seen huge success in that. Lastly, RFID scanning, like barrier-less scanning is working. It's a new thing, like I think Transport Department will start building that. And they are again evaluating the MongoDB. Now, MongoDB has become the DNA for any modern application because of its foundational changes and the foundational things it has. I'm looking forward how we can contribute as a tech people, as a tech organization in this type of journey to the government. Thank you.
Still tempted to ask one question, and probably with sir only. While you spoke about problems, how is Delhi police using some of the futuristic technologies in their way of working things?
Very interesting question. In fact, I wanted to share some experiences which we have started very recently based on Gen AI, emergence of Gen AI. So we started with the first virtual assistant, and for that, because we had the precursor of that was FAQs and chatbot. But you know, chatbot is rule-based, so doesn't serve much of the purposes. So we started testing some solutions based on, backend is of course the foundational models, but on top of that we are fine-tuning using our own FAQs for all the verticals. So we took a lot of efforts in fine-tuning our FAQs and all the internal documents, and then on top of that we are using some backbone GPT and fine-tuning with our delivery specific data. That is one thing which we are doing. It is in the process. Maybe we will be able to launch it in few months. That is one. Second is we are also trying with, because robotic AI now this year is robotic AI. So we are also trying to have a humanoid robo for experimental basis, on experimental basis in couple of police stations. So with IIT Delhi and IIIT Delhi, we are working with developing a humanoid robo which would act as a assistant receptionist in police station, and that will be powered by GPT chatbot. So already we are working with virtual assistant. That virtual assistant will be embedded into a humanoid robo. That is second one. Third technology we want, in fact we want solution, because the time has come that instead of using a generic ERP, why not have a law enforcement specific ERP? This is the challenge, because we are trying to do different segments of ERP in piecemeal manner. Can we have integrated ERP, which will take care of financial, material resources and all the internal business workflow. So if that can be done, nothing like that. But in absence of that, I have a couple of thoughts on this. Can we use retrieval assisted generation? Can we use, symbolic AI based, knowledge graph? Aggregating all these things in our ERP can be a game changer for law enforcement. I mean, this is the kind of solution we are looking for. And, on top of that, I also wish that, number of crimes are happening because the volume of crime has grown manifold. So, supervision is, at times we feel that it has taken backseat. We are not much bothered about supervision as we are bothered about registration of crime. So we have to match with, adequate supervisory assistance, and how best we can do it using technology. So perhaps we have to infuse AI here also. So AI-driven crime supervision system is need of the hour. How we can plug in a kind of solution in CCTNS, Crime Criminal Tracking Network System, which is a state-of-the-art pan-India crime database. So that is something which we are wishing for. In fact, I had some thoughts on this, because any solution provider who feels that he can do a good job can reach out to Delhi Police. And finally, I also want that there was some discussion with what kind of database we should look for. So initially, there are couple of some generic database, standard databases, Oracle and MS SQL, all this debate was going on. In CCTNS today we had discussion with representative from MongoDB that MongoDB is a NoSQL database, and this is the futuristic database because this will be very much be compatible with Gen AI and AI based system. So how MongoDB and NoSQL for that matter could be can be a futuristic solution, that also if we want to explore, maybe we will take a couple of presentations, how that can migrate our generic legacy database to the new system, and how we can club it with the AI paradigm. That is what we are looking for. So broadly, these are the contours of things we are looking for in future. In fact, we also want that blockchain. We have used blockchain in a licensing system for generating certificates. We are using blockchain in Delhi Police Academy for awarding degrees. The degrees, diploma certificates are generated through blockchain. We are also using blockchain in e-forensics. I think many other states are also using e-forensics based on blockchain. Now blockchain can also be used for movement of case file. So far we have not tried that. So that is also something we are exploring some options. So this is one idea. And finally, in CCTNS, we are looking, because CCTNS 2.0 is also coming up. So there will be lot many AI based solutions. So I am looking for a solution where our CCTNS database, which has primarily FIR copies, which is at times in multilingual and also in English, which is very challenging in as of now we have not found any solution in which we can figure out, we can understand English. With Hindi, English written in Hindi script. So we can distinguish between different languages, but English written in Hindi script is something the AI has to understand, and that should be converted into in such a way that can be used for information retrieval. So all these contours of technology and spectrum of technologies we are exploring, and we are at the work in progress. We are at various stages, particularly predictive analytics. I talk about predictive policing. I haven't found any solution which is close to state of the art, because since I researched this area, and many OEMs are coming to us, but they are showing giving technology which are 20 years old. For example, time series. For example, heat map, hotspot, these are all 20 years old technology. This is not going to help us. Someone who can suggest a solution where with the limited resources, manpower resources, the mobile patrol resources which we have, how best we can deploy in a particular shift, that kind of recommendation should come through predictive policing. It should not be left to police station, like this is the heat map, you decide what to do. So I'm just giving a glimpse of the kind of thing we are looking for, and I hope some of you will be ignited by this, my thoughts, and come back to Delhi Police and showcase some solutions. Thank you so much.
But maybe I'll not ask them right now. So thank you, everyone. Thank you.